So where things get a little bit more complicated is when we're dividing by a decimal. If we're taking a decimal divided by something, it's not a problem. You saw in that last one, you can just do your long division. The problem is when we're doing something like this, 6.8 divided by 1.7. We're dividing by a decimal. And so what we would do is we would use the fact that this is a fraction, or we can think of it as a fraction, and say, well, I can make that bottom into something that's not a decimal by multiplying both the top and the bottom by, well, something that'll move my decimal place over, by multiplying both the top and the bottom by 10. In which case this becomes 68 over 17, and you can do that one with long division. So the same thing goes here. If we had 3.5 divided by 0.001, if we had 3.5 divided by 0.001, in order to count this as, in order for the bottom part to be to not be a decimal, for it to be a whole number, I would need to move the decimal place over 1, 2, 3 places, which is a 1 with 3 zeros. It's 1,000. So I'd have to multiply both the top and the bottom by 1,000. That's going to move my decimal place up top over 3 places. It's 1, 2, 3 places. And 1, 2, 3 places on the bottom. We just get 3,500 divided by 1, which is 3,500. So this is, again, one of those perhaps surprising results to people when they're used to division resulting in a number that's smaller than what you started with. This is kind of an exact parallel to what happened when we were talking about multiplying by numbers that are in this range, that are between -1 and +1. If we're dividing by numbers that are between -1 and +1, we actually end up with something that's bigger than what we started, or farther away from 0 specifically. So again here, 0.009 divided by 0.02, 0.02 being fairly close to 0, it's definitely below 1. It's between -1 and +1. So we're going to end up with something bigger than 0.009. But let's actually see what that is. 0.009 divided by 0.02. I'm going to move my decimal place over 1, 2 places, 1, 2 places, there and there, to give me 0.9 divided by 2. At this point, I mean, if I wanted, I could move it over another place. There's nothing saying I have to stop at 2 places. I could go 9 over 20, but in any case, this is far enough because now I can actually use long division. 0.9 divided by 2. Let's see, this goes into 9 4 times. That gives me an 8. Subtract that off, drop down a 0. We get a 5. So we get 0.45. So we started out 0.009. We ended up with 0.45. So let me just verify these really quickly on the calculator. 0.001. You can see we get 3,500 on that one. And on this next one, 0.009 divided by 0.02, we get 0.45, exactly what we got by hand. These last two, I'm going to go ahead and do on the calculator, because, whatever. Oops, I didn't do my decimal. 0.365 divided by 18.25. I do expect this one to be less than 0.3625, because 18.25 is bigger than 1. And you can see I do get something that is less than 0.325, 0.02. And then the last one, we get 8.8 divided by 3.2, 2.75.